Okay, so hello everyone. This is day 7 of full stack data science with Gen AI and Agentic AI training course. So in this class, we will learn or we will discuss as well about Matplotlib library. Earlier we have seen NumPy. So is NumPy completed? No, NumPy is not completed. What we are actually doing with Matplotlib, we are combining NumPy. Okay, so we are boosting the power of NumPy, right? So how we can boost the power of NumPy? By adding Matplotlib. Okay, so NumPy works on numbers. Okay, it does not show us graphical representation of that data, but this Matplotlib we are using to represent the numbers in a graphical format, right? So you can say this NumPy is a kitchen and this Matplotlib is the place where you will keep the food. Okay, means you will represent the food on the plate. Okay, this is just a basic example I'm giving to you for understanding purpose only. But let's talk about NumPy little bit. Oh, sorry, not NumPy, but let's talk about Matplotlib. So, what is Matplotlib? The question is, what is Matplotlib? So, Matplotlib is what? Matplotlib is a library of Python. So, Matplotlib is a Python library. Okay, and why we use Matplotlib? So, it is used to draw graphs and visualization. Okay, so now the question is how to import it. So in order to import the NumPy, so for example, if you have Anaconda Python, right? So by default, NumPy package will be there and Matplotlib will be there. So you don't need to externally install it. When you have already Anaconda Python, you can directly start working on Matplotlib and NumPy. So in order to import the NumPy, you can write here import matplotlib, okay, dot py plot, or we can say pyplot. Okay, so from the matplotlib library, what we are importing pyplot. So every time writing matplotlib pyplot, it will take time. Okay, and it may produce the errors. So what we will do, we will provide it a alias name. Means we can say we will provide this statement as an nickname. So we can write here as PLT. Okay, so PLT means and matplot.pyplot both are same. Okay, what I'm trying to say, either you can use this name or you can use this name, but we will use this name because this PLT, writing PLT is easy compared to use this. Okay, so we will learn the code as well, we will do code as well, but I'm trying to tell you the basics. So what are the other ways to create the graphs? Okay, so what are the other ways to create the graph? So let me tell you about that as well. Okay, so do not worry about like we are learning just a basic thing because we have mixed audience, so we will start everything from basics only, right? So you have to give your time only and you have to practice with me, right? So when you want to plot visualization, whenever you want plot the visualization. So for plotting the visualization, you need two things. You need two libraries. One is NumPy plus Matplotlib. Okay. So if you have the combination of these two things, you can plot the visualization. Okay, so what are the other ways to plot the visualization? So what we can do, we can plot the graph using XLL. Also we can plot the graph, right? And if you want to plot the graph, so we can use, for plot the graph, we can use Matplotlib. And what is this Matplotlib? It is a Python library. Are you understanding, guys? Matplotlib also used to create the graphs, and this is the Python library. And what are the other ways we can use to plot the graph? Let's suppose if you want to plot the advanced graph, so what you will do? So plot the advanced graph. So for plotting the advanced graph, what you will do? You will use the Seaborn. Okay, so Seaborn is an advanced version of Matplotlib, or you can say Seaborn has been built on the top of the Matplotlib, right? So the Seaborn is also a Python library, right? So for the basics graph, we will use Matplotlib. For the advanced graph, we can use Seaborn. Okay, in future lectures, we will discuss about it as well in details. And one more thing, whenever you want to plot the graph in R programming, so in R programming also we can plot the graph. So plot the graph using R. Okay, so R is a programming language. So here what we use ggplot. Okay, so what we use? ggplot library we use in R programming to plot the graph. So for basic understanding, I'm telling you this much. I hope you're understanding, right? Please note down these points, because in interviews you may see any of the question from here as well. Okay, so this is the training course. This is not just a video. That is why we will discuss everything which will place you plot the graph in Databricks. Okay, so we can plot the graph in Databricks as well. Okay, and this Databricks is what? This is the big data tool. Okay, so Databricks is what? Big data tool. Okay, and this tool is inbuilt, right? And then we have, in order to plot the graph, we can use, so plot the graph using Azure ML. Okay, so with the help of Azure ML, we can also plot the graph. Okay, so we have multiple ways to plot the graph, but what we are going to see currently, we are going to see plotting the visualization or plotting the graph using NumPy and Matplotlib. So NumPy will generate the numbers. On the top of that numbers, we will plot the visualization. Nothing but graphs, right? So apart from this, some organization use some tools for the visualization. Let's suppose there is a tool called Graphena. So the tool name is Graphena, and there is one more tool which is Prometheus. Okay, so these are the tools for plotting the visualization, and these tools can be, I mean, not can be, but these tools is used by some popular organizations, some popular MNCs like Walmart. Okay, so there are different types of tools for the visualization, right? So now let's try to understand all these things with code. Okay, so let's open VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we have already worked with NumPy. So now what I will do, I'll create a new folder. So for that, I will open a folder, and here test 0. Here I'll create one more folder by hovering on this new and the folder name is Matplotlib. Any name you can give, but we are learning Matplotlib, so that is why I have given the same name. And now here what I have to do, I have to create one file. And what is the file name? We can write any name. Let's write mat1.ipynp. Okay, so interactive Python notebook. Correct. So let's write one markdown here. So I will use hash, then I will say matplotlib. Okay, then press Control Enter, and this name will come like this. Now let's take the code block, and here what I need to do, I need to import the NumPy. I need to import the NumPy, yes, but I need to import Matplotlib as well, because without numbers, how you will plot the graph? Okay, so that is why we need NumPy as well as Matplotlib. But let's import Matplotlib first. So import. Now you have to write matplotlib. Okay. After writing matplotlib, what we will write? We will say inside the matplotlib there is pyplot. So py plot, pyplot. Okay. So this name we have to write whenever we have to plot any graph. So we need to write matplotlib.py plot. Okay, pyplot. So this name is little tricky to writing every time in order to calling the graph functions. So that is why we will provide the nickname to it by saying as plt. So whenever we want to create a graph, then we will use plt name. Next, what we will do, we will import numpy. Okay, because on the top of the numbers we will plot the graph. So for importing the numpy, we will write import numpy. So we will provide nickname to the numpy as well. So we will say import numpy as np. Okay, so after importing this, what we can do, we can run this to check whether error is coming or not. So it is asking which one you want to select. So I will select Python environment. Here I will select base Python Anaconda. Okay, so let's run it again. So it will take some time. Okay, so it has executed. You can see means we have imported library correctly. And in the new cell, what we will do, let's create some numbers. Okay, so for creating the numbers, let me write here data. Data is a variable, and in the data variable we need some numbers. So what we can do, we can use array function. Okay, so in np there is a array. Okay, okay, and in the array what we can mention, we can mention the starting point. Okay, 0 comma 100. Then what will happen? So if I will execute it, what it is saying now, array. Okay, okay, sorry for that. So not array, we have to use arrange because we have to generate a range of numbers. Okay, so what we can mention here, we can mention here 0 to 100. Okay, so we can execute it. So it's executing. Now what can I do? I can print the data. So it is printing data like this, but I want to print 10 rows and 10 columns. So what can I do? I can reshape it. Okay, and I can mention here 10 comma 10. So if you will multiply 10 into 10, so it will be 100. So the total number count is 100 because it is 99 because starting from 0. So now if you will print it, it will print, it will print 10 columns and 10 rows. Okay, so can we print a visualization from these numbers? Okay, so how to print visualization from this number? So in order to printing the visualization from this number, we need to use PLT. Okay, we have imported a Matplotlib library and here we have PLT. So we will write here in the PLT we have to import the function. So how we can do this? We will say plt dot plot what data. Okay, on the top of the data, on the top of this data we have to plot a graph. So if you will execute it, okay, so what it is saying, Matplotlib is no. Okay, it should be plot, not G but T. Okay, so can you see these lines are printing? Okay, according to this data, these lines are printing. Okay, but at the same time, if you are importing Matplotlib, you can import one more thing to ignore the warnings. Okay, so what you need to write here, you will write import warnings, and here we can write warnings. Okay, warnings dot filter warnings, and we will say ignore. Okay, what we are actually writing, you can understand it like a in MS Word. For example, if we are writing someone's name, so sometimes it print what underline error, red underline error. So what we do, we right click, and what we do, we select ignore warnings. So similarly here also we are ignoring, we want to ignore the warning. If there is any update, so if on that update this our Matplotlib package is not compatible, so that time it should ignore the warning. Okay, so that is why we are using this. So now let's check it once again. Let's try to check it once again. Okay, so it's working fine, no issue at all. Okay, so right now you can see in this graph it is printing line for each row. Okay, so how many rows are there in our array? So if you will see in our array we have 10 rows. Okay, because we have reshaped it and 10 rows and 10 column. That is why it is printing what it is printing 10 rows here, okay, in the graph. And one more thing, what it is doing actually, it is returning the object. Whenever you will plot the graph, so it will return 2D object. As you can see here, it is returning 2D object for each row. Okay, this is for one row, this is second row, third row, like that. It is returning object for all those 10 rows. Okay, so what we can do, let's suppose I don't want to see this and I don't want to display this multiple lines. So for this, what we can do, let's try to understand step by step. Okay, so let me take the code. So what I will do here, I will say I want to plot the graph, so I will write plt.plot, and here I will say data, but I don't want to print all the rows, but I want to print for the zeroth row, means for the first row. If you will execute this, what will happen? It is printing for this first row, but still it is printing object of it is printing 2D object address. How we can ignore this? So in order to ignore this, let's take a code here. Here you have to write first, what you will write plt dot plt dot plot, and in the plot you will use one function which is known as flatten. Okay, so this function you will call with your data. Okay, so data having so many rows, but which row you want to print? So I want to print, let's suppose, 0th row, but I'm writing flatten so that it should not return the 2D object. I want to ignore this 2D object. That is why I'm writing this dot flatten function. So can I run this now? Yeah, I can. Okay, but still it is printing or some mistake. Okay, so we have to provide here semicolon as well. Okay, so now it is not printing. Can you see this? It is not printing object, right? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take the employee salaries. Okay, so what I will do, I will ask ChatGPT to give employee salaries. Provide employees salary list to print plot using Matplotlib library. Okay, so give salaries within the, okay, or starting from 10,000 rupees to 1,20,000 rupees. Okay, and give 30 employees salaries. Okay, so this data I am asking to the GPT to provide us, and on that data we will plot the graph. Okay, so it has given the salaries, so I'll just copy this salaries data and I will take the code here and I'll paste it here. Okay, so these are the salaries. Let's execute it. Okay, it has executed. Now what I will do on these salaries, I will plot the graph. So can you please tell me how to plot the graph? So we have already imported the Matplotlib library as PLT. So here what I will write, PLT dot, tell me what we have to write next, plot, and in the plot function, if you don't want to print the object address, 2D object address, then what you will do, you will write here flatten. Okay, here you will write flatten, and here you will write the data. Data is salaries dot. Okay, hope you're understanding why we are writing these. Okay, so if I will run this, plt dot plot, is there any spelling mistake? Salaries is correct. Okay, yes, I'm forgetting semicolon. Okay, so we have to provide semicolon also. But what it's saying, list object has no attribute. Okay, okay, so this is the list of the employees. Okay, no worries. Let's print it directly. So it is printing the salaries like this. Okay, so can we convert this list into array? Yes, definitely we can do. So we can override this. Okay, so we can say salaries is equals to np dot array and salaries. Okay, press enter, and if you will print this salaries, so it is printing in the form of array. And can we write here flatten now? Okay, and semicolon also. If I run this, So there is no object it is returning. Okay, because this works on the arrays, not the list. Alright, so it is printing the graph. Okay, let's try to explore this graph more. Let's try to understand more about it. Like what is the mean of this line and what's the mean of x-axis and y-axis. Let's try to understand in detail as well. Okay, so this graph is having two axes. So one is the x-axis, okay, and one is the y-axis, right? And this is what we are getting the insights. So if you will see here, so this is what number of employees. So starting from 0 and ending till 30. Okay, so between 0 and 5 there are other numbers as well, like 0, then 1. Okay, 2 is there, then 3 is there between this, and 4 is there, like that. And if you will see, all the employee salary is keep on increasing, keep on increasing, keep on increasing. Why? Because our data is something like this. So understanding the data through the graph is known as insight. Okay, so what we are getting from the data, from this graph, we are getting the insight. Insight means we are understanding the summary of the data. Okay, means for example, if there is a IPL match going on, and if you miss the IPL match, so what you will do, you will take the status, I mean, you can see the graph, and by seeing the graph, you can quickly get to know which team is winning and which team is losing. Okay, so let's suppose, for example, here we have data, and also our data is something like this. So what I will do, I will say, I will change this data a little bit. I will modify the data a little bit. So here I'm saying the next employee salary is 5,000, and then here the employee salary is 10,000. This is 15,000, and this is what, 1,000 only, and this is 12,000. So I have modified the salaries data. Let's run this cell. Let's run this. Okay, we have run this cell. Why? Because we have modified. So already executed this. Now we have, let's plot it now. Now the plot the graph one more time. Okay, so I am running it. So now can you see? Can you understand this graph now? Okay, let me just uh, see. Let me uh, increase the width little bit. So you can see the starting around 14 employees. So if you will see, starting 14 till 14 employees, salary is increasing. After the 14 employees, this company is not paying that much what salaries they paid to the earlier 14 or we can say 13 employee, right? So later on they are paying very less, keep on decreasing in salaries, and after the 15th employee, what they do, they rapidly provide good salaries to the employees. Okay, so means on 15th, 16th, okay, 17th, so you can assume like after 17th employee, salaries keep on increasing, keep on increasing, okay, till up to what, up to like 24 or 23 employee. Then after that there is a massive difference in the salaries are going to downgrade, right? Till what, till 25 or 26 employee, right? And the 27th employee, salary little bit minor salary increase, then salary decrease. So these all about. So and after 27th or 28th, you can see between 27th and 9th, you can see massive increase in the salary, employee salary. Okay, and like that. So what we are getting from this graph in this graph we are getting insight, we are understanding the data through the graph. So that is what, that is the power of visualization. The power of visualization means we can get the insights from the graph, we can acquire the knowledge from the graph easily, we can understand the business easily with the help of graph. Okay, I hope you're understanding. We will discuss more about it, do not worry about it. Okay, if you're not understanding, please let me know what you're not understanding, so I will try to tell you in different way. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to change the color of this line, okay, of this graph, what you can do, after this salaries and flatten, you can write comma, and after comma what you can do, you can mention the color. You can say color is what, you can say red. Okay, so if you will execute it, so you can see it is coming in red color. But if you don't like red color, you want green color, you can write here green and it can print green. If you want like blue color, it will print in blue color, right? And if you want to print in a pink color, so it will print in a pink color. Black color, whatever color you want, it will print accordingly. And if you want to write color, or if you will write only single character, still it will print the color. Okay, right? So this is how you can change the color. Okay, so now let me tell you one more thing. If you want to remove this flatten function, so that you can remove, no problem at all. Still you will not see any difference, you will see same output. But why we are using this, and without this also it is working. See, if you will not use semicolon, then what it will do, it will return the object address. But if you will use the semicolon, then it will not return the object address. But then what is the use of flatten? So that is used when you have array with multiple rows. So here what we have done, we have created an array with multiple rows. So what it is doing, it is plotting the graph for each row. So here writing flatten is important. Where here, okay, writing flatten is important when you are printing multiple. For example, if I will write here data, or maybe if you will see here what we are printing data, so it is printing for all the rows. But what I want, let's suppose in the data what we have multiple rows. But what I want, all the data should come 0 to 100, whatever data is there, all the data considered as a single row. So for this, what do we do? We need to write a flatten. Okay, so let's try to do it. Okay, so if you will write here semicolon, then what will happen? First, try to understand this. So it is not returning the object address, but multiple lines are coming, but we want this array should consider in a single row. So with reshape also we can do this, but okay, if you will remove the reshape, it will also in the single line, okay, and it will print single line only. But let's suppose someone already put it a reshape here, then what will happen, it will print for multiple line. Okay, so for this, for converting this in a single line, again here you can use the flatten function. So what you will write, okay, if you will execute it, so it will print for the single row. Okay, all the elements, all this data comes under a single row, that is why it is printing the single line, right? So I hope you understood about flatten function clearly. Okay, now let's talk about markers. So we have markers as well, you can see here. Okay, okay, so it is not displaying, but here we have marker option as well. You can write here marker, and in the marker you can mention what, you can mention O. If you will mention here O, then what will happen? It will print the dots. Okay, so can you see dots? So with these dots, what you can do, you can get more insights. You can take the more insight about the graph, means more clarity it is providing. It is providing more clarity about the data with these markers, right? And can I change the marker? Can I give here, I mean, hyphen can I provide as a marker? Can I keep markers like this? Okay, no, not like this. Okay, so what we can provide? We can provide here O. So the markers are coming, right? Okay, so before printing this advanced version, let's try to print the different version of the graph. Earlier we have printed graph like plt dot plot, and here what we have to do? We have to write the salaries. Okay, so it is printing like this, right? And one more thing what we can do, if you will write plt dot plot, and if you will write here salaries, okay, and if you will write semicolon, so what it will not do, it will not print this object. Okay, it will not return the object, and it is directly printing. One more thing we have seen, which is like plt dot plot, and we can write here salaries, comma, color also we can mention. Color is, let's suppose, red. So it is printing with color. And the next thing we have seen, which is marker. Okay, so we have seen this markers as well. Now let's talk about size. If you want to increase the size of this graph, okay, and if you want to increase the height and width of this picture, so what you can do here, you can write here plt dot rc params. Okay, so what you can write, rc param, and you can write here like figure dot pick size. Okay, and after that what you can do, okay, actually it should not be the parenthesis, it should be the square brackets, and outside this you can mention width and height. Okay, so, and after that let's try to write here plt dot plot salaries. Okay, it should be plt dot plot salaries. Okay, color red, marker O. Okay, so now let's try to execute it. So, okay, let's try to execute it as well. Okay, now execute this. So can you see the size? Can you see the difference in the size? So here what increased? Height and width increase. If I say this is 3, okay, let's run it this as well. So can you see what this is changing? This is changing the height, okay, and this is what width, right? And if you'll say width is like, let's suppose 4, run it and execute this as well. It is printing like this. So this is for width and height. Okay, so let me just write here markdown as well. Okay, so this is for width and this is for height. Alright, so let's say 10 is the width and 7 is the height. Okay, so this is executed and execute this as well. So we are getting more clarity on this big graph, right? Okay, so let me clear one more doubt of your guys. Like you might be thinking like Python does not support semicolon, then why are you using here semicolon to avoid this return statement? Okay, but this is the misconception. Actually, Python does support semicolon. Okay, so let me tell you how it actually supports. Okay, so if you will open ideally, which is nothing but Python, ideally means integrated development learning environment. So whenever you will download the Python, it will come by default. So for example, if I write here a equals to 10, so is it a error? No, it is not a error. It is what? Separating two statement. Second statement is what? B equals to 20. So we are saying this is the one statement and this is another statement. And if you will write here print a plus b, and if you will press enter, what you will see? Error or output? The question is error or output. What you are getting? You are getting here output. So semicolon, it is not like Python does not support. Python supports semicolons, but it is used for separating the statement. Okay, in the same way, here we can also do what we are saying. This is the ending of this line. Do not return anything. Okay, let me just write here code as well so that you can understand. Let's suppose this is 10. Okay, and this is 40, and this is print. Okay, a plus b. If you will execute it, you are getting the result. So it is not like Python is not supporting. Python is supporting for ending the line, okay, or separating the statement. I hope you got the clarity about it. Okay, so instead of this ovals, if you want to print the squares as a marker, so you can also do that. So for that, what you need to write, you will write here plt dot plot semicolon. Here you will write salaries. Okay, and next you can write here color if you want, like crimson. Crimson is a color name. You would be confused, but so let's write here blue. Okay, blue is fine. And then in marker, you can mention here S. Okay, so this is how you will see the different markers. Okay, so here this time you are getting the square box. Okay, so this is what you can do. And let's talk about the list style. Can you see this line? Can we change the style of this line? Yes, definitely we can do. So let me write here markdown. So line style, ls means line style. Okay, so in the line style, what are the line styles are acceptable? So the acceptable line styles are, you can provide here line style as a, okay, you can provide comma, I mean hyphen, and you can provide double hyphen, but make sure it is in the single quotes. And next, what you can provide another symbol, which is like hyphen dot you can provide, and you can provide here, okay, empty, right? So these are the symbols we can provide. So let's try to do it. Let's try to write code. So plt dot plot semicolon. Then what we can write? We can write here salaries. Okay, then color is equals to red, and then we can provide one more attribute here. So that more attribute is nothing but ls. Okay, so ls means list style we can provide, and in the list style what we can mention, okay, is it showing? Okay, let's just go down. Okay, so what it is providing, line style. So these are the line style we can provide. Okay, so these are the line style we can provide: solid, dash dot line, dotted line, like this. So let's suppose I am providing this line style. Just run this shell. You can see this is coming like this. Okay, this is this symbol. Let's try to print different style. So plt dot plot, and here what we can mention, salaries, comma, color red. Yes, we can say hyphen, run it. So it is coming like a line because it is a single hyphen. But if you will write here double hyphen, then if you will run it, so you can see the difference. Okay, similarly you can provide here this symbol as well. Okay, so double symbol is not there, but single symbol, okay, not there. Then okay, uh, these are the things we can do. We can be, okay, so in the markers also you can see we can provide these many markers. Okay, for diamond you can provide D, for X, and these many things. So many things are there to explore. And in line style, these are the line styles we have. Okay, so we can provide them. Right. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to remove this particular numbering, okay, from the x-axis and from the y-axis. Let's suppose you want to remove this number, you just want to see the line graph only. So what you can do, let me just tell you. So you can write here plot, I mean plt dot plot. So we are printing the data. How we can say, we can say salaries, and then we can write here color, or let's write here color. Color is blue. Next, what we can write? We can write marker. Okay, marker is, we have different markers. So when you are working on this, you in the suggestions you can check what are the markers we can provide. You can see it in the like suggestions clearly. So these are the markers we have. You can provide 1, 2, 3, 4 star markers. Okay, hexagon marker, plus my plus diamond. Okay, so let's suppose I am providing diamond marker. Okay, and after that just run this. But if you will run, so numbers still are coming. So first of all, remove this object, which is object address written by the plot. So removed. Now remove these numbers from x and y axis. So how you can do this? You can write here plt dot x ticks, and you can write here empty. Okay, so you can see there is no numbering at x axis, and similarly you can write here plt dot y ticks. Okay, and this is also you can keep empty. Okay, so you are just seeing only the graph. Okay, so we are not getting any x axis and y, and you can write here plt dot show as well. Show function is for displaying the graph. Plt dot show. Okay, so when you are using plt dot show, so this show function will not return any object address, so that time you don't need to use the semicolon. But if you are directly printing with plot, so it will return the object address. So removing that object address, you can use the semicolon, or otherwise you can go with show. Correct? Okay, now let's try to understand the label, how to provide the label to this graph. So in order to provide the label into this graph, let's try to see. So let's plot the graph, plt dot plot, right? And after that, let's write the data, I mean salaries, then color, okay, spread, and then ls means list style, then it's optional, right? It's not mandatory, right? Every time this, but we are writing. And there is one more thing which you can provide, which is the label. Okay, so in the label you can mention the name, whatever name you want to mention you can write, but I am writing here salaries because this is the salary graph. Okay, and if you will write here plt dot show, and if you will execute it, so you are getting the graph but you are not getting the name. We are not getting the name. So in order to call this label, if in order to represent this label in the graph, you need to call it. So before showing it, you need to call plt dot legend. Okay, you need to call one legend function and run it again, and you can see the salaries label is coming. Okay, and if you will write short name, then it will print whatever you will write. Okay, now let's try to merge two data, means in a single graph. Let's try to build two graphs. Okay, so how we can do this? So let's try to understand with this. So here, as you can see here, we have an array of years. Okay, so these are the years starting from 2025. You can see here, this is starting with 2025 up to 2024. So this is what years data. And then we have department A salaries. Okay, so these are the salaries data of department A starting from 32 and up to 52,000. Right, so this is a department A salary. Similarly, we have department B salary. Okay, and this data is, and department B salary is starting from 30,000 up to 51,000. Okay, so we have three data to visualize. One is years array, second is department A array, and department B array. Okay, so we will plot a graph with this data. Okay, so what we will do basically, so what we have written here, please try to understand, it's very easy. So plt dot plot, we understood about them. What we are taking years data, and we are taking department A. Okay, department A, and year wise we are printing department A. Okay, so we are combining two two arrays. And then colors, we are saying color is red. Marker is what? Diamond. D means diamond. List style is this dash. And this is what? Label. So label is what? Department A salaries. Okay, this is the label for the first graph. And the similar graph is for department B. Years will be the same, but the department B salary will be changed. And color is blue, marker is O, LS, list style is this, and label is this. Okay, so what we are saying, X label means X label we are modifying. We are saying this is the years, this is the x-axis. So here what we are printing, years. Okay, and Y label is what? Y label is what? Salary NI and INR. Okay, and then title means the name of the graph. So we are saying salary comparison department A versus department B from 2025 to 2024, right? So this is how we can do the quick insights, which is not possible through the numbers, but through the graph it's possible. Then what we are doing, we are calling the legend function so that we can print this label as well, right? And after that what we have to do, we are calling one more function with which is grid, and this grid is nothing but grid lines. Okay, have you seen the grid lines? So it will print the grid lines behind the graph. Okay, it is, these are the lines. So if you want these lines behind the graph, so you can say grid true, otherwise you can make it false, otherwise you can remove this function. And then we are saying plot dot show. Okay, so let's try to understand this which department is doing well. Okay, which department salaries are well as per the 2025 to 2000, I mean 2015 to 2024. So let's just run it. So here you can see, so this is what red is what. So when you will display this to your client, so the client don't know about this much. So for client understanding, you need to provide the label. And what is the label? Label is saying this red one is what? Department A salaries. Okay, department A salaries is what? Red one. And blue one is what? Department B salaries. So can you see this? And this data, this y-axis is what? Salaries. Salaries data. Okay. And this x-axis is what? Years. X-axis is what? Years. So you can take the quick insight from this graph. So you can see when between 2000, starting from 2015. So from 2015 to 2016. Okay, so salary chart of this department is going like this and starting from here. Okay, so this red department is providing more salaries. Okay, and in 2020 they provided comparatively less salaries. Okay, so all these things you can visualize. Okay, so you can get the more insight. Okay, so always B department is providing more salaries. Okay, so B department providing more salaries, as you can see in the graph. Okay, in 2020 they provided very less salary, and they started providing less salary from between this 2018 to 2020. Okay, after 2018, 19. Okay, around 19 something they provided giving very less salaries to their employees, but after 2020 they provided more salary comparatively, and graph keeps going on. Okay, so like that you can get more insight, more clarity about the data. Okay, So please practice, guys, because without practice you cannot do anything. You will not understand them. Okay, so try to understand, try to practice as much as possible. Okay, so okay, so what's the legend? Here it is the legend. Okay, so if you want to move the legend, okay, if you want to move this, so what you can do, so let me just copy this code because because of this code this particular graph is forming. Okay, so let me just copy and let's try to move the legend. Okay, so just in order to remove the legend, if you will see right now, it is printing here, but here you can mention some directions, like you can mention this is what upper left. Currently, what's the direction? Upper left. If you will run, it will not do any difference. Okay, so we don't need to write like this, but we have to mention the parameter name location. Okay, so this is what upper left, but you can move it in some other direction by writing here upper right. So this is what upper right direction, but if you want to move it down, so you can write here lower right. Okay, so it is at lower right, and you can make it lower left as well. Okay, so it is coming like that, right? Okay, so we have discussed so many things till now. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss more about this Matplotlib library, as well as we will discuss something about raw data and clean data, and we will discuss about data cleansing as well. Okay, like how we can convert raw data into the clean data, we will discuss in the next class. Okay, if you are not understanding this, so please practice, because practice is only one solution to understand this. Okay, if you will not practice, it will always be a fear for you, right? So the only way you can understand this Matplotlib is to do it by yourself. Okay, if you are facing any issue, you may write comment. So no issue at all. While writing the comment, I'll try to give the answer to resolve your queries. Okay. Okay, so we have practiced so many things about Matplotlib. Okay, so let me just provide you this sheet so that you guys can also practice. So what I will do, I will just take the, okay, I will just copy the location. So is there any option to copy path? Okay, so copy path. Okay, so we have copy path, and I'll go to the classroom, and in the classroom I will update this. Okay, so you can join this, guys. Let me see how many people have been joined. Okay, so 7 students has joined so far. Okay, so Nitin is there, Ganesh, Drupadi is there, Krunal is there, Shiva is there, Lakshman Kumar Chaudhary is also there, Hamdard Khan is there. Very nice. Okay, so let me just share the work as well. So in the new announcement, what I will do, I will just attach the work. Okay, to attach the work, I need to upload it. So from where I'll upload, I already copied the path. Okay, so it has opened, but I don't need to open it. I will just mention. So this is the Matplotlib. Okay, this is a practice guide. Okay, and notes. Okay, Matplotlib. Okay, no, okay. So let me just save this, and let me just go here, press the content, and this is the content. Okay, so let me just post it and you can access it. And if you haven't joined this classroom, what you can do, you can copy this code, and with this code you can join the class. Okay, this is the Google Classroom. You can search Google Classroom and there you will see join the class or create the class. So as a student you can join the class by writing this code. Okay, so thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. In the next class we will discuss more about the more about the data and clean data cleansing. So many topics are there. So be consistent, be do not skip any video, do not skip any lecture. If you're not understanding, please try to understand again and again. And still if you are facing any doubt, please write the comment. I'm very active to give answer of the comments. Okay, so thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. Bye all of you.